1 minute or less.
Yes, my name is Michael Margo. And the representative from the Austin Police Department threw out some stats a few minutes ago. I'd like to throw you one. The Austin Police Department pays out about $1 million per year in civil suits. The majority of people that come to me, and just this week alone, I had one of my teams here actually win a lawsuit against the Austin Police Department. The people that come to me, their question is this: it's not about the money, it's not about the civil suit, it's about holding someone responsible. It's about making it stop. Where is the Travis County DA's office in this discussion? This here looks like to me that this is a Travis County Democratic Party event for people to get their names on the ballot. This is a joke. Where is the DA's office?
Well, sir, we want to have another conversation with regards to criminal justice reform. This one is specific regarding to policing, so I reject the comments with regards to putting names on the ballots. We're about getting actual policy reforms here, and that's why we have the members we have, and we have all you here today. So please, next question from the audience.
So first off, Ms. Houston, I think I kind of want to speak to why people aren't there, and I think it's because because of what this lady said. Like after this, she's got to wake up really early in the morning and get back on the grind again. And I think that's why, because so many people are trying to struggle and grind so hard every day. That's why we can't make it out to the meetings to advocate for these things. Hell, half the committee meetings where we talk about this stuff, it's scheduled during when working class people have to work. So how are we supposed to even attend? So what I wanted to ask to Assistant Chief Manley, I don't know if you remember at the last panel back in September, but I asked the chief about your use of force trainings, and he said that within 2 months you would invite the public to one of your trainings. I searched the APD website, I searched the Travis County Democratic Party website, and I Googled APD use of force, but I found nothing. How do you expect us to take you seriously when you don't follow through on the promises that you make?
That training actually did take place. I'm not sure if members that were in attendance are here now. I know members of the city's Human Rights Commission were at that training, members of the media were at that training, and I believe members of the Travis County Democratic Party were there as well. If you were left off, thank you, Vince. Yes, Vince was there. So if you were supposed to be included and were not, I apologize for that. And if you will give your information to one of the assistant chiefs in front of you there, when we host the next event, we will see that you're invited. We did follow through.
At this time, we're going to go back to questions from the stage, because we got to really get through this information. It's already 8:40 p.m., so let's move really, really quickly. This is for Chief Manley and Ora Houston regarding mental well-being checks. Where are we currently, and how do we improve the process? Mental well-being checks. Where are we currently at, and then where do we need to go?
Okay, I'll start, and then I'll turn the mic to the council member. We have a partnership here in Austin, Travis County with the Travis County Mental Health Authority. We realize, as you do, the majority of our use of force incidents involve individuals that either are intoxicated or have some level of a mental disability, and the a handful of the recent officer-involved shootings, as we are all aware, involved individuals that were in some sort of a mental health crisis. So this is something that we train our officers for. I mentioned earlier that we have every single cadet goes through 40 hours of basic training. We have another 158 officers that receive an additional whole nother level of training to be certified as CIT officers, that they can respond to the scenes where we're having individuals in mental distress. Again, in an effort to put some of the data points
really
out there.
Quickly, can you wrap up?
In 2014, our department handled 9,240 mental health calls, resulting in 4,711 individuals being detained. In other words, the police officer filled out the documents to have that person committed for mental health. So over 9,000 calls, over 4,700 committed, and each of those were tragedies where a life was taken, but in the majority of these calls, what we're doing is working, and we're able to de-escalate.
So let's be real. people in this community who have behavioral health disorders of any sort, there's not enough money in the state budget to fund the programs that are needed, and it's not enough money in the county or the city budget. So where do those people go? They go to jail. The jail system is the largest provider of mental health services in this city. And again, the state legislature several years ago reduced the amount of money going into mental health, mental retardation, or whatever they call that now, put it someplace else, and then put the burden on the communities to provide the support services and the wraparound services that people need. That's the wrong way to staff people who have behavioral health issues. It's not the jail, it's not the prison system, and it's not the emergency room. They're specialized places. But here in Austin, because of that problem, we have what is known as underground homes for people with behavioral disorders. And now the city is having to look at trying to regulate those homes. You saw about it in the news a couple of weeks ago. Those are people who have become invisible to the system. They don't get their medicine, they don't get food, and so that's a deeper problem than we even know about. So we have to keep on top of that, and we're working to try to put some ordinances in place so that we can deal with that problem.
All right, thank you. Online, we made a promise to the public that they will get the opportunity to ask their questions. So if you're one of the remaining 11 people, please come line up right here. And once again, please limit your questions to 1 minute or less. And panelists, please 1 minute or less. I want to make sure that we allow the public to get their questions asked because we've made that promise.
Is it on now? Okay. Thank you so much. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight. Thank you so much. It means so much, and I personally will not forget. My question is this. As an African American and Hispanic woman, I have personally encountered or been a participant in unwarranted and unnecessary police interactions. And I believe it all stems from suspicion. I'm law-abiding, and I would like to know what is viewed as suspicious and what I can do both in the moment and retroactively when I feel like I am being treated unjustly so that I will not become another statistic.
Thank you.
We have back at our desk some cards on just some those sort of issues. One of the things we started doing is putting out some information cards. And one of the things I always suggest to people is that if you feel like there's no reason for your encounter, here's some magic words for you. I'd like for you to call a supervisor to the scene. You know, because if what you have is an officer who's doing what I'm calling fishing, it's not really a reason to stop you, but I'll just fish, because I can find anybody violating a traffic law if I want. I don't remember much from my academy, but I do remember that. So I can stop you, and if I'm asking you a lot of questions like where you come from, where you're doing, where you live, what do you work, all this kind of stuff, and you feel like they're just fishing, you say, officer, with all due respect, I feel like you're fishing, and I'd like for you to call a supervisor.
All right, thank you. Can we go to the next question?
Hello, my name is Don. My question is in regard to police reform with the hiring practice. Does the City of Austin hire police officers who have been terminated from other police agencies or have failed out of field training programs of other police agencies? Do you think it's a good practice to hire this type of officer, Mayor Adler?
We have a very robust background investigation.
I didn't hear the beginning of your question. Were you asking if we had that practice, or you were saying we had that practice and asking me what I think about it?
I'm asking, sir.
I don't know if we have that practice or not. It's a question I can answer, and if you give me your information, I can find out, or maybe the chief has that answer. I don't know.
Brian?
I apologize, Mr. Mayor, I'm having a hard time hearing on the speaker up here, but yes, we do a very robust background investigation on our applicants. That's why it takes us so long to hire and fill cadet classes, because of the amount of background that we do. And any potential applicant has to account for their previous employment for the past, I believe it's 10 years. We contact each and every one of those employers, and anything that would be seen, if they were let go from another police agency, I cannot think of a reason why we would hire them, and I'm not aware of anybody that we have.
All right. Thank you. We can go to the next question.
Public safety eats up almost 70% of the city's budget, and more than half of that 70% goes directly to the police force. There are plans to significantly increase the police force, and over the next 5 years, it seems like from the reports that I've read, crime rates have decreased or remained steady for the most part. So what is the justification for the increase in police officers? And also, why not reallocate those funds to parts of the budget, such as the health and human services part, or other activities that proactively prevent crime instead of reactive?
We're in the middle of the budget process right now, and those are the same kinds of questions that the council's asking. And we're looking at a lot of those questions. You know, the budget proposal that come to us this year from police officers are asking for more money to do more community policing activities. And I've seen the community policing's work out in the Runberg area. I've seen the benefit that it can have to a community. So the budget proposal that's been directed toward us has been couched that way. And we're looking at that, and we're looking at the underlying numbers on the existing police force that exists separate and apart from the community policing. I absolutely believe we need to invest more money on social services and health and human services so that we hit the causes. I think we need to take a broader look at equity issues and fairness issues. The City of Austin has a Chief Sustainability Officer. We have a Chief Innovation Officer. And I propose that we have a Chief Equity Officer in this city that looks at everything that the city's doing and the practices in this city systemically, so that we have that kind of advocate in the system. And I'm proud that Ms. Houston went onto our budget process and endorsed that along with Councilmember Poole. But I think that we have to take a look at the priorities that we have.
Thank you.